million working age Nigerians, 35.5 million are employed full-time. That's 30%.
I give you the context.
I give you the history.
I fight fake news with facts.
Kayode. No, Kayode, I will let you talk. Kayode, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
That's why more and more Lagosians are tuning in.
500,000 Lagosians.
720,000.
970,000.
Over 1 million Lagosians, they know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
All you do, going beyond the headlines and focusing on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
First hard fact of the day, 17 confirmed COVID cases yesterday. It's a big drop from Monday. By the way, we're still trying to get an explanation from the NCDC about why the Benue numbers for Monday were so high. We had 5 states on the list, Lagos at the top for yesterday's numbers. Lagos followed by Rivers, Kaduna, Kano and Plateau. 17 confirmed cases. So people, let's keep taking our precautions. Don't go out unless you cannot avoid going out. And when you do go out, wear your mask, maintain your distance from people, wash your hands and sanitize your hands as frequently as you can. Let's keep each other safe. Let's keep ourselves safe. And let's join the 1 million Lagosians who listen to Hard Facts, because they cannot be wrong. They know where to come. Starting with the big 3. We'll talk about Twitter deleting President Buhari's tweet about the civil war. And then we'll talk about Rotimi Akeredolu's call to scrap the Senate. And let's talk about Nigeria saying that richer countries should dash us vaccines soon. On today's Glass Ceiling, we'll come to the end of the conversation we've been having about parenting and the role it has on gender equality. We started this conversation 2-3 weeks ago, and it's been fantastic. And today, we're going to take a final look at how we can parent better if we want a society where boys and girls can be treated equally, which will translate to men and women being treated equally. On Balogun and Broad, I want to talk about the problems that ride-hailing drivers face from passengers. We often hear complaints from passengers, right? But drivers also have things that they have to deal with. I'm going to have this conversation because I saw a tweet from a driver who was talking about this young woman who he went to drop somewhere in Lagos. And when they got there, instead of the young woman to transfer his fare like she was supposed to, the young woman offered to have sex with him and as payment for the ride. How often does this form of sexual harassment occur? Because that's what that is. It is sexual harassment, right? Because you are on your job and you have, these women offering you their bodies in exchange for payment for a service that you've rendered. So that's just one of the complaints we've heard. We've also heard of people who will claim that they've made the transfers, but the transfers don't get through. So let's have that conversation at 5 o'clock. What are some of these issues that drivers have with passengers? 5 p.m. we'll have that conversation on Balogun and Broad. News updates will come your way at the top of every hour. If you want to win on Just a Minute on this particular show, you need to listen to every single thing I say. That's how you win. If you listen to me from the time that I said my name on this show, or from the time that I said first hard fact of the day on this show, you will definitely be able to answer every single question I ask on Just a Minute. That's how you win. Now, we'll bring you news at 6 p.m. And after the news, we will bring you Let's Talk with Voice of America, and with a little something in between the news and Let's Talk from Voice of America. But Lagos, let's get started with the big 3. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts.
This is the big 3.
The big 3
on Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Was Twitter right to delete President Buhari's tweet? Is a unicameral national legislature workable? And does Nigeria have a moral right to shame richer countries for not sharing vaccines? Those are your big 3, Lagos. Let's talk. Twitter deleted one of President Buhari's tweets yesterday for policy violation. And that's our first story. So yesterday, President Buhari talked about recent attacks on different INEC offices, mostly in the southeast. He vowed that the government will crack down heavily on the criminals behind those senseless attacks. We have footage of him talking about these things, and we will play it for you if you are currently watching us online. But if you cannot watch online, we also have the audio of the president making this statement. But anyways, he says that the government will crack down heavily on the criminals behind those attacks. Now, Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3, Nigeria Info 99.3. YouTube is Nigeria Info FM. That's also where you can listen. And of course, we've got here where you can listen live if you are not able to watch live.
It is very clear that they intend to make sure that this administration fails. I'm getting good intelligence report on daily basis. The question of insecurity in the country is being mentioned all over the world, not only here in Nigeria. But I believe there are Nigerians that will attempt at least to be fair. By what I believed, that I will run the country according to the Constitution. Now, with all these people who want power, whoever they are, have they proved that I was not following the Constitution? Well, am I not leading the country according to the Constitution? What do they want? So whoever wanted diversion or destruction of the system at this point, I think will soon have their shock of their lives. I think we have given them enough latitude. They have made their case. They just wanted to destroy the country. Simple. Because what do they want? And we are concentrating on infrastructure because no country or institution can be developed without infrastructure. Now, for those of us who are unfortunate to be in the field for the 30 months of the Civil War, to see the carnage of how we kill ourselves, at least 1 million people, I think those that are misbehaving, they were either too young, they didn't know what happened. But for those of us who went through all these things, we can't understand. So we will treat them in the language they understand. So I feel for your understanding and so on. We are going to be very hard sooner than later. We have done our best to change the service chiefs and the IG. We allow them time to go around to make necessary changes for them to be firmly in charge. We'll try and give them the resources they require, and we will demand security sooner than later. I thank you very much for your presentation. I assure you that this administration will do whatever we can do for you so that we don't give anybody excuse to blame us that we don't want to go or want to have a third term.
Now, last night, the president's official Twitter handle paraphrased those comments, the comments that you've just heard, right, in a series of tweets. And when they got to the part about the Civil War, here's how they phrased it. Quote, "Many of those misbehaving today are too young to be aware of the destruction and loss of lives that occurred during the Nigerian Civil War. Those of us in the fields for 30 months who went through the war will treat them in the language they understand." Now, many Nigerians took exception to that tweet, and they actually started reporting it to Twitter as a threat. And today, Twitter has deleted that tweet. If you try to click on a link to the tweet, you get a message from Twitter saying, quote, "This tweet violated Twitter rules." Now, I want to know what you think about the president's comments, the way his official Twitter handle paraphrased those comments, and Twitter's decision to delete the tweet. Kingsley Moghalu has commented about the original statement from the president. He is a former presidential candidate, a former deputy governor of the central bank, and he said that while he agreed with the president on cracking down on those behind these attacks, the president's choice of language was wrong. We're going to play the video for you. If you can't watch the video on Nigeria Info 99.3 or Nigeria Info FM on YouTube, listen to your radio for the audio.
I mean, I heard the bit on the attacks on INEC offices and infrastructure, and I think I can understand the frustrations all over the country with these attacks on government installations. But, you know, and when he was speaking specifically about the civil war, first of all, I mean, I think we need to know who exactly is behind these attacks. But to the extent he started speaking about the civil war, he was right up to the point where he was saying that some of the separatists, people who were demanding secession and so on, and maybe being a bit aggressive about it, were people who had not seen the war. I saw the war. I was a young child, and war is terrible. I want to tell you, war is terrible. It may sound romantic, but it is not in reality. And therefore, we must avoid conflict, armed conflict, and civil war in this country and destruction. But to the point he then said, we will treat them in the language they understand. I did not think that that was the kind of statement he should have made as the president of the country. I think language matters when you are a leader and when you're facing a crisis, because that language can be interpreted in so many ways. A lot of horrible things happened during the Civil War. It involved several violations of international humanitarian law. A lot of war crimes were committed in that Civil War, mainly against citizens of one particular side in the war. So when you're saying that we will treat them in the language they understand, you see, you're bringing up evocations that are very unpleasant. You can say that the government will take appropriate measures to protect the security and the physical safety of government institutions. That's what the government is supposed to do. So that's, if I were president, that's what I would have said. I would not say we would treat any citizens of Nigeria or any people from any part of Nigeria in the quote-unquote in the language they understand when that statement is made in the context of something terrible that happened over 50 years ago. That's my comment.
Lagos, let's talk 014657190. That's the number for our female callers. For our male callers, 0700-993-993-993. What do you think about Moghalu's response? How much do you think words matter? And do you think the president should have chosen his words better? Do you think, that Twitter made the right call here, deleting the president's tweets? What do you think about his comments? What do you think about the way his official Twitter handle paraphrased the comments? Give us a call on 0700-993-993-993. A lot of people are trying to call in, so I'm going to limit your phone calls to 1 minute 30 seconds. That's all you get. 1 minute 30 seconds. Let's keep things civil, please. Thank you very much. Tega in Ajah, welcome. Good afternoon.
Well, it's here finally.
Turn your radio off.
I know it's off. This is what most of us have been waiting for, and now the president has, simply displayed. It is very, very clear and obvious to the whole world now that this country we are not one. We are not one. It's very, very clear and clear now. Fine, most of us we are not born then during the Civil War, but now they're taking us back to the reality. To back then. So now it's very clear that this country we are not united in any way. Now the president has started the drumming of the war himself, because he just started beating the drum of the war now. Yes, and now I'm not sure this country will survive another civil war. I'm not sure, and it should surely come to pass. Without civil war, this country cannot.
All right, no, let's not say that. I disagree that the president was beating the drums of war. Number one, number two, the president wasn't asking anybody to go to war. Number three, the president was simply reacting to the destruction and burning of government property in the southeast, right? Now, his language is what a lot of people are calling problematic, but you cannot begin to say that the language of the president was a call to war. Come on, man. We've got Rosaline in Ejigbo. Rosaline, welcome to the show. Hello, Rosaline.
Sandra.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah, this is Rosaline E. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. You see, I'm sorry to call your attention back to the morning crossfire.
Okay.
During the time of your colleague. The response of too many people that never reasoned to this level where this man just spoke my mind.
Okay.
I mean, the person you played his voice over. Okay. I mean, the man that said something about what the president has already spoken about.
Kingsley
Thank
Moghalu
God for Twitter. Yes. That is just the point where I find pains in my heart. I was crying in the morning. Just like the woman that called, I've forgotten her name. She said, what has this particular part of Nigeria done to you? These same institutions that have been, destroyed in too many places down the east, did it start from there? Did it start from there? Look at Niger State. I think it's about 4 days ago that we had the news, or 3 days ago, if I'm not mistaken, that such thing happened the same place. There was no statement from this same president. Even the INEC office, the police station, even in this Lagos State, police stations were burnt down during NSAT. What was the president's reaction?
Thank you very much for calling. Remember, everybody gets 1 minute, 30 seconds because so many people trying to call into the show. Hello, thank you for calling us. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. We've got a tweet from Elijah Olubiyi on Twitter who says, Twitter is right for deleting his tweet. The content of that tweet is enough to show that things are not right. You don't threaten your people with the past by reminding them of a dreadful civil war and expect that there will be peace. Thank you very much, Elijah Olubiyi, for your message. Calvin in Surulere is on the line. Kevin, hello.
Sandra, how are you doing?
I'm very well. Welcome.
Yes. There is absolutely nothing wrong with what the president has said. I'm even disappointed that it took the president so long to make this statement. We cannot sit down and fold our hands because some people are agitating our national institutions will raise down. People will be killed. We can't take that. It's enough of this. If you are agitating, you have some interest in some things, there's a proper way to go about it. And I've told them, my brothers from the southeast, those that are reasonable, have listened to us, that we have reasoned together, this is not even the way to go about it. Who told them that those that even want to break up and go on their own way? Who told them that it's going to be El Dorado? Today, as we speak, South Sudan, 6.something million people are facing hunger and starvation. It is the United Nations is trying to raise money for them to feed them. There's hunger there. Did it separate them? Did it make them become better? You are going about raising stations, stoning INEC institutions. The only way to attract. And if you cannot vote and go through the vote, there's no other way to do it. If you want to go for the referendum, go and meet your lawmakers at the National Assembly to enact it in the law so that we have it in their law. But this will not do that. You are going about raising everywhere. The president has spoken well. This is what I wanted him to do long ago, and I'm even disappointed he took him this way. I don't know what Kingsley Moghalu is talking about. Those that face the civil war, they know better. I did not face the civil war, but I read books and I know what people went through.
Thank you, Kevin, for calling. 99.3.
Hello, Sandra. Good evening.
Thank you for calling us. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Ngozi.
Welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, for me, Sandra, yesterday night when I saw that tweet, I saw the reaction in Twitter, how people reacted about it. I felt so bad, Sandra. The reason is, it's only somebody that does not understand English language that would say that tweet or that message sent by President Muhammad Buhari, that there is nothing wrong with it, Sandra.
Okay.
It belittles the people he was referring to. It's a way of telling you are a coward, you cannot do anything. I'm just telling you the honest truth. There are better ways. We all know that Buhari did not put down those words. find that tweet personally was directed to particular people. And it is very, very inciting, Sandra. It is. We are here last month when the kidnapping that would have took place in Kaduna. What did the president do? They sent a tweet begging criminals that they should have taken care of long ago to desist from kidnapping, to desist from killing innocent Nigerians. But when people said enough of this marginalization, enough of the pain the Nigerian government has caused us, then we became the bad one.
Thank you very much for calling. We've got more tweets at Nigeria Info FM. Adegboyega Adedeji says, how I wish Buhari addresses the matter of kidnapping, banditry and Boko Haram that has bedeviled the nation, the way he's blowing hot and spitting fire on those seen or believed to be behind the crisis going on in the southeast. That would have been better. Adegboyega, thank you very much for your message. Sunday Fanyichukwu Uwakwe, says Twitter has indicated their terms and conditions, and without reading and agreeing to it, no one can sign up. A rule is a rule. Whoever breaks it faces the panel. Twitter, if my post is wrong, kindly delete and also give me kudos. We've got Salami Babatunde who says, quite painful for an elderly person. I'm not sure what you're talking about. We've got Green Pasture Bale who says, that guy Kevin. Okay, I'm not going to take that comment. Let's please try and desist from insulting listeners who contribute to the show. Let me come to WhatsApp very quickly. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. Sandra, someone needs to ask the president what the language they understand is, so that those that did not see the war will understand. We've got Amechi Anadwaka who says, PMB sounds insensitive by using the Nigerian Civil War as a point of reference. It's like scratching a healing wound. It shows high level of insensitivity. Why should Igbo people agitate if the president deliberately ignored Igbos in his strategic appointments, if we're really practicing one Nigeria? All right, thank you very much for your message. Sandra, PMB keeps dividing the country more and more with words and actions. I'm 47 years old. I've taken time to study the history of the war. The war was totally needless. The president was sectional in his speech. Destruction of lives and property in other parts of the country. Everyone should have been warned. Annie Inota. We'll take a break. We'll be right back, Lagos. Don't go away.
Hey, people. How far now?
Finance Bank, the bank of the free. Make you download Kuda for Play Store or for App Store to open account. Make you start to enjoy our Wolf banking.
The best of talk radio to start your day. The Morning Crossfire with Sheriff Cordy.
It is government silence and the silence on the part of the rest of us that have fueled all of this insecurity. Even from Lagos to Ibadan now, you need the blood of Jesus.
This thing is a political game. Jordan Barras, the others and the rest. The men of their wives are widows. They have been paid 50,000, 100,000. Today I have not paid my children's school fees. Even in our group chat, if you say anything about your boss or you complain, they will block you and remove from you. Because I seen the truth.
The Morning Crossfire with Sheriff Cordy. Weekdays 5 to 9 a.m. on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
My car was parked in front of my house and was vandalized. My neighbor said he actually looked through the window and saw the people taking out stuff from my car. He said he couldn't tell me and his room is opposite mine.
Imagine that. Let's talk.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Lagos, you're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Every day we start the show by bringing you three of the biggest stories of the day. And our first big story was Twitter deleting President Buhari's tweet about the Civil War. Our second big story is Rotimi Akeredolu saying that the National Assembly needs only one chamber and that it should be part-time. It's 29 minutes past 3. Now, you know he's the Ondo State governor, And he's talking about this because restructuring is on everybody's mind right now. And he says one of the areas where governance can be streamlined is by reducing the size of the National Assembly and the amount of time that the National Assembly sits. So he wants the Senate gone. He wants all 109 seats gone. But he also said that if the Senate goes, the House of Reps needs to change. Now, let me explain why. In the Senate, all seats have equal representation, 3 senators each. But in the House of Reps, every state has a different size of contingent based on the number of local governments and its population size. So that's why Kano has more seats than, say, Bayelsa, for instance. Kano has 24 seats in the House of Reps. Bayelsa has 5. So that's why the Senate exists, so that states with larger populations don't dominate the agenda. For a bill to become a law, it also has to pass through a chamber where every state has an equal voice. So if you scrap the Senate, suddenly the balance no longer exists, right? And according to Akeredolu, what should happen is a hard limit on state contingents to the House of Reps. He's suggesting that. He's saying that no senatorial district should have more than 4 reps. That means no state can have more than 12 reps from its 3 districts. Right now, for example, Lagos and Kano both have 24 reps. So now they would lose half their numbers if this is adopted. And I wonder if you think this is something that should be done. What do you think about Governor Akeredolu's recommendation? Do you think that it would solve the problem of bloated governance while also preserving fair representation? Men, call me on 0700-993-993-993. Women, call me on 01465-7190. We've got WhatsApp 080-959-75805. Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. Facebook, where we're streaming live, Nigeria Info 99.3. Yes, you can still talk about the first story, and everybody still gets 1 minute 30 seconds. Israel is in Yaba. Hello, Israel. Welcome.
Yeah, Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I'm very, very happy to reach you today.
Happy to have you here as well.
I'm reacting to the first story you talked about.
Okay.
I want you to pass this message. The Igbos, we are never a coward. Even during the war, Gowon said that in 3 days he would destroy Biafra. But it took him 3 years before he could do that. Pass this message to Buhari that Igbos, we are not cowards and we will never be cowards. Even if there's another war, we will still overtake them.
There will not be another war, Israel, but thank you very much for calling. We appreciate it. 99.3. Hello.
Sandra.
How are you?
Comrade Dike Chukwu from Otafam.
Welcome.
1985 July, I saw Buhari in Nigeria Airways, and I don't think that Buhari wrote this thing. Somebody wrote this thing for Buhari. But I want to tell you something.
Well, we watched him say it on video, and he said it off the top of his head.
What I want to tell you is that, number one, let me congratulate Twitter by removing that thing he posted.
Okay.
I not support what is happening and the burnings, but something prompted out these burnings now. If woman cannot be walking in the streets, police will abduct, army will abduct. They will carry them go to prison. They will not carry them go to court. And last time we were hearing about 77,000 abonna exported to China. He's not asking of that one. Are you hearing me?
Mm-hmm.
And now he's putting a threat, remembering the Civil War. And please, don't be annoyed if I want to talk. Me, I don't carry Odeshi. I'm Odeshi. I'm even trying to go to East and prepare. Let him stop threatening us and ask Igbo people what do they want. All these things started after Olu's invasion. You cannot be killing women that are selling tabache and are going fish, killing children, killing people that are drinking palm wine. Say you are looking for young boys, ESN security. Bringing to Kano, to Kano the people, thinking that the young boys will not become unknown gunmen and all the rest.
Ikechukwu, thank you very much for calling. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. Hello. Hello. Okay. I don't know what's going on, but call back if you can. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
My name is Abiola.
Welcome. Welcome.
So, just quickly, for the first story, I agree with Kinsley Mogali because the president did not blow this up when it was Boko Haram. 200 students were kidnapped in Niger. There's no comment on that. So, if he was going to blow us, can as well blow us on all the security issues.
Okay.
Secondly, I also agree with accurately. This is bloated. Our governance is bloated. The cost. Senators keep earning salaries. Federal government cannot pay minimum wage. It's a problem. And if they are not willing to cut their salary or do part-time like they have suggested, they can as well take themselves off that position.
Okay.
So that's my take.
Thank you very much for sharing it in 50 seconds. I knew we could do it. My prince on Twitter. I can't believe my prince changed his name so that I can call him my prince. But my prince on Twitter says, Kingsley Mogalo has just said it the right way. However, I urge all to please be calming down. War is not the right way to go. People think that war is just, you'll be watching it on film. If there's a war, you can't be calling Nigerian food to talk about it. There won't be internet. There won't be food. There won't be fuel for your gen. Nobody wants a war. War is a terrible, terrible thing. We need to look at these things as realistically as possible. It is switch to talk when adrenaline they pump for your body. But in reality, it's a terrible thing. Nobody wants to be in that situation. Seriously, if you still have grandparents around, sit them down, ask them questions about what they saw. And you'll see that you don't want that. Like, you'll be striving for peace as much as possible. Mrs. Buchi is in Ikorodu. How are you?
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Thank you for calling.
I want to talk about the first story.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello. If you look what is going on in East, it's federal government and APC that caused the trouble in East. Because they force Uzodinma for people of East, people of Imo State head. That is why they now use Uzodinma to cause problem in East now. Because if you look East before, East is a very peaceful place to live, to go. But now federal government and APC now use Uzodinma to cause problem. They are killing innocent people. And the someone people called one president started to issue threat to Igbo land. I tell him he should continue. But all I know that whatever a man sow, he will reap. Whether he's dead, whether he's alive, he cannot do Igbo people anything. Let him go ahead and be releasing threat to Igbo people. One day he will pay for this evil that he's doing, whether he's dead, whether he's alive. That's the only thing I have to say.
Mrs. Buchi, thank you very much for calling to share it. We've got Sherry for Girima on Twitter who says that recommendation by Akeredolu is quite good, but I don't think it will happen very soon. Dr. Colbert Clothing says, very right to delete that tweet. Asemota Matthew says, Sandra, for a president to speak in such an ill manner, it's totally condemnable. When insurgency has been ravaging the North for over a decade, we've not heard such fierce words. This is hate speech, and Twitter is wrong, okay? Mind you, Nigerians are not gullible, all right? Thank you very much for your message. Actually, the president has spoken fiercely in the past about bandits, about what's the word now? He's spoken fiercely in the past about bandits. He's spoken fiercely in the past about Boko Haram. He issues a lot of warnings about all of these state actors, non-state actors who act violently. He actually has a lot of strong words all the time. And yes, there are a few appeals here and there, but it's not entirely accurate to say that he didn't speak up or he didn't have threats for them. We've got Jerry on Twitter who says, when President Trump tweeted some words some time ago that caused uproar in the United States of America, his tweets were not only deleted, he was banned. So if Twitter discovers your tweet is capable of creating violence or promoting violence, they have a right to delete it. All right, let me go very quickly to WhatsApp. Sandra, please, if I may ask. Okay. My brother Kevin has not felt the pain of the Southeast. I don't blame him at all. I pray he doesn't. More people sending us messages. Kevin needs a job. Okay, can we not be attacking Kevin? Everybody has a right to their opinion. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. Let's not drag people for the opinions they share. Robert says Akeredolu is right. The cost of governance in Nigeria is too much, especially from our senators. We have greedy senators whose job is those who say I should say I, and the ayes have it. Okay. We've got Prince from Ajah who says, with the level of insurgency in the north years back until date, one would expect the president to react the way he's reacting in the south now, but the reverse was the case. Akeredolu has spoken well. Majority of them sleep through the session. All they do is I support instead of raising motions. All right, more messages here. Peter Yorinde says, Madam Sandra, either way you put it, our president has spoken. Out of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Pre-COVID, you could count over 40 checkpoints to arrive at the east. The optics of the language and reality of military movement into the east have made tension and discomfort to the people. The president doesn't speak to the public because he speaks to the frown of many. Remember the code of conduct chairman outburst to the security man? He used ethnic abuse at him. The mentality of many people in government to some national sections is not unifying. Peter Yorinde, thank you very much for your message. We've got a message from Dan who says, has this president ever minded the language he uses? That informs the reasons he doesn't talk all the time. He only expresses certain sentiments that are unwieldy. The Civil War, wow. All right, I'm going to step away from that comment. On Facebook, Loyal Isaiah says, my idea about the National Assembly is that the Senate should be scrapped and each state should have 4 reps, North, South, East, and West constituency, respectively. The 6 geopolitical zones should have equal number of state and equal number of state, and each should create the number of local governments they can fund. The 6 zones should also be geo-economic, whereby each of them industrialize based on the natural resources that they have. All zones should have equal number of workers in the federal institutions. All right, thank you very much, Loyal Isaiah, for your message. Rui Igi says, if there's to be peace, the police must operate within the confines of the law. If they don't, they will breed more people than they are after. All right, let me come back to the phone lines. Women, call us on 014657190. We've told you so far that Twitter deleted President Buhari's tweet yesterday for policy violation. The president talked about the recent attacks on different INEC offices, mostly in the southeast, and vowed that the government will crack down heavily on the criminals behind those senseless attacks. And he tweeted last night, many of those misbehaving today are too young to be aware of the destruction and loss of lives that occurred during the Nigerian Civil War. Those of us in the fields for 30 months who went through the war will treat them in the language they understand. And lots of Nigerians have taken exception to that tweet, and they reported it to Twitter, and Twitter deleted that tweet today. Then our second story is Rotimi Akeredolu saying that the National Assembly needs only one chamber, and that chamber should be part-time. He wants the Senate gone. He says that we should have only a House of Reps, and that there has to be hard limits on state contingents to the House of Reps. He says that no senatorial district should have more than 4 reps, which means that no state can have more than 12 reps from its 3 districts. And I gave you the reasons why we have the Senate as is at the moment. I also explained to you how the House of Reps works as far as representation is concerned. We still have one more story to talk about, but I'll take 2 calls, 1 minute, 30 seconds each, and then move to our final story on the Big 3. Hello, thank you very much for calling.
Hello, Sandra.
What's your name?
My name is Ngozi. I'm reacting on the proposal.
Story. All right, go ahead.
I actually support that motion.
Okay.
Being it that the Nigerian Senate, we are talking about cutting down on governance. I think that would be a good start. Secondly, the way the Senate is structured makes it very difficult sometimes for certain zones to get through some bills, especially when it is not palatable with the North. So I think equal representation will do us much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for making her point in less than a minute. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
Thank you very much for calling. What's your name?
James.
Welcome, James. You've got 1 minute, 30 seconds.
Thank you very much. You see, I'm reacting to the first
story, okay?
You see, Buhari regards Igbos as irritants. Irritants in the sense that whenever he sees the people, he gets annoyed. That was why the comment was made. Because whenever he sees them, he remembers the civil war. I don't know whether he lost people there. That is exactly what I'm saying. Whatever that Igbos have done, really, granted that those people, the transition, they are not getting it right. But to remind us the civil war, really, I was a child, I witnessed it when my people died. I could remember, although I don't want to go into details to tell you exactly what happened. But you see, today, I have the children in university, that's in the Eastern land. Each day, I call them, any problem? And these people are just very civil. My children are there without any problem. If they are not being caught and killed, how would you feel I would feel when they do not do anything? That is exactly where I'm saying that this man, I don't want to talk more. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling. Now let's bring you our final story and then we'll take calls where we take your reactions to all the stories. Give us your surplus COVID vaccines now, nah. Don't be stingy, nah. That's what the federal government is telling rich countries. And that's our third story. The message is coming from the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA. They are in charge of COVID vaccine distribution and administration. And they're saying that it's unfair that some countries have surplus vaccines that they cannot use, while countries like Nigeria don't have enough to go around. Now, some countries have promised to share their surplus jabs with the rest of the world down the line. But the federal government is saying that we need these vaccines now, not later. Now, opinions are split on this. They're split about this. Some people are saying, the federal government is right to call out these other countries because this is a global issue with life or death consequences. Literally life or death consequences. I mean, the UN has also said the same thing. WHO has also said the same thing. But other people have said, that this smacks of entitlement to other people's property. They believe that since these other countries made the investments into research and manufacturing, nobody should dictate to them when and how they share their vaccines. Now, as a side note, I want to point out that most countries manufacturing vaccines say that they want to make sure everybody is vaccinated. They agree with the WHO that the only way to stop the virus is to vaccinate almost everybody, because if you have big populations unvaccinated, the virus will keep mutating as it spreads through the population. And eventually, you will get a new variant that can withstand the vaccine, and then everybody's vulnerable again. So it makes sense for everybody to be vaccinated, period. So there's no argument about whether the rich countries will share the vaccines. The question is, should those governments waiting to receive the vaccines be dictating the terms? And do they have a moral right to criticize the other nations? By the way, NPHCDA also reported back on vaccine side effects. Out of the 1.9 million Nigerians that got the first dose of the vaccine, only 10,000 reported mild side effects. Mild. That's slightly more than half of 1%. Only 86 people reported moderate to severe side effects. 86 out of 1.9 million. So that's 0.004%. So when anybody tells you that the vaccines are dangerous, these are numbers that you should point them to. Point them to those numbers, those hard facts. But anyway, back to the vaccine donation. Do you think the federal government is right to call the global vaccine imbalance unfair? Or do you think the federal government blaming other countries for our own failure to produce our own vaccines is uncalled for? Women call me on 01465-7190. Men call me on 0700-993-993-993. You can also share your thoughts with us via WhatsApp 080-959-75805. Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. Facebook Nigeria Info 99.3. YouTube Nigeria Info 99.3. Yes, you can still talk about story 1 and story 2, but remember you have 1 minute 30 seconds. Michael Inijushaga, welcome.
Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We only have turned Nigeria to Bambiara. So we have turned to beggar in the international community.
Okay.
And concern your first story, just help us to tell boy that Igbo are not coward in that manner, that he should relax, no problem. That's all I have for the day.
Thank you very much for calling to share your thoughts with me, Michael. 99.3. Hello? Hello?
Hello. This is Nome calling from Mowe area.
Welcome, Nome. Welcome, Nome.
Can you hear me?
Yes, but if you can speak louder, that would be nice.
Okay, I said this is Nome calling from Mowe area.
Welcome, Nome. Thank you for calling us.
What I actually want to ask, all these talk. Are the government, are they hearing?
Okay. Hello? Is that a question you want me to answer?
Yes. Are they hearing?
Yes, they're hearing.
They are hearing?
Yes.
Okay. In the morning now, Sheriff will come up and we talk, everybody calling. I was just wondering, all this talking, are they actually hearing? If they are hearing, that's fine.
They're hearing.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nome, for calling. Let me go to WhatsApp very quickly. Dan says, has this president ever minded the language he uses? That informs the reason he doesn't talk always. He only expressed the continued... Oh, no, I think I've taken that message or avoided taking it. We've got Archbishop Olusegun Roberts from Ikorodu who says, Sandra, in respect of Twitter deleting the president's comment, if my memory serves me right, former American President Donald Trump also had some of his comments deleted. They're just doing their job. No big deal. We have Sandra, please let our president address some other things that matters a lot and not threatening us with what happened years ago. The things that are happening in the southeast is not up to what is happening in the north part of this country. And he never promised them war in the language they'll understand. Yes, but he also ordered shoot on sight for bandits. So, I mean, somebody did say that perhaps this is why the president doesn't talk all the time, because when he talks, he says things like shoot on sight or do things in language you'll understand. What do you think about that? We've got more messages here on WhatsApp. Talent says that message of President Buhari is not good. As president, you are not supposed to say what you say. Someone says, I agree with Governor Keredolu. The National Assembly is milking the country's budget. That's a message from Tiso. Tiso is in Isolo. Sandra, Nigeria has no problems. We are the ones manufacturing our problems. Why would Mr. President be the one setting the house ablaze instead of stopping the fire? That was so insensitive. He doesn't even know how delicate the country is at the moment. Johnson says, I think the presidency needs to guard their utterances to avoid excesses which can unsettle and heat up the polity. They should also try to be more responsive to issues on ground. The president should address the nation anytime there are national challenges as we are having now. Back to Facebook. Godwin Musa says, what do the Igbos want the Mr. President to do for them? They're always complaining about marginalization. What is marginalization? Are they not part of Buhari's government? Did Buhari deny them federal allocation? They are part and parcel of Nigeria, but they are talking senselessly that will not bring solutions to the country at the moment. Chike Stevens says, I now know why the presidency doesn't allow the president to speak his mind, because he always sparks controversy. Abnitio, he said it is 95% to those who voted him and 5% to others. Let's come back to the phone lines. 99.3, hello. Hello,
Sandra.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the show. What's your name?
Well, what I want to about the statement is jittery.
Say that again. Your line is breaking up. Your line is breaking up.
Okay, I said. Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear. Go ahead.
Yeah. The president should stop being jittery about his experience during the Civil War.
Okay.
And to stop this new generation, because they have not seen the Civil War. Even so, the army ship did not see it. But I understand.
Oh, sir, maybe call us back. Your line is breaking up really badly. 99.3, hello.
Hello, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good
Confidence.
Hi, Confidence. Welcome.
Yeah, I don't know what we Nigerians want. I know that these governments are not trying in every aspect, but the killing in the eastern part is much. They are overdoing it. They are really overdoing it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Confidence. Thank you very much for calling. 99.3. Hello. Hello. All right then. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Hard Facts. What's your name?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes. What's your
My
name?
name is Tayo, calling from Auburn.
Tayo, we've got 30 seconds for you. Can you use it up?
Okay, Mr. President is the one being given security reports. So, whatever is coming is based on that security report. Nobody is seeing the security report except him. Then on the issue of Mr. Kredolu, well, we don't need a double parliament in Nigeria if we can get equal representation.
Thank you for calling.
We Entertainment, in partnership with Riverside Productions, bring you this comedy blockbuster, One Lagos Night.
The Morning Crossfire with Sheriff Quadri. Weekdays 5 to 9 a.m. on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
My car was parked in front of my house and was vandalized. My neighbor said he actually looked through the window and saw the people taking out stuff from my car. He said he couldn't have me and his room is opposite mine.
Imagine that. Let's talk. Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
4 minutes to the top of the hour. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Don't forget, we'll conclude our conversation about parenting and gender equality or inequality on the other side of 4 o'clock. Don't miss that conversation. But right now, 1 minute, 30 seconds, that's what you get until we get to 4 o'clock and I hand you over to the business news team. 01465 7190 0700 993 993 993. 3 stories. Which one do you want to talk about? We've got Chugomi on the line. Hi, thank you very much for calling us.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
I just wanted to talk about Governor Akeredolu's statement.
Yes, please.
I don't think Nigeria should be having Senate, upper chamber, lower chamber. I think we should just go back to the parliamentary system of government, whereby we have an MP, just like the UK, and that person is in charge of that particular state. It leaves the state with less overhead. We don't have to pay so much money out. A lot of people in Nigeria are starving. People actually need jobs. Youth need jobs. Roads need to be fixed. Infrastructure needs to be fixed. And yet, these people just keep taking money, getting paid. You can't. It's literally not. It doesn't work. We're not America. We can't be following the American system. America has money. We don't have that kind of money. We don't have that kind of development, and we don't have that kind of democracy yet.
Right.
So we need to work with something that works for us.
Right.
That's just what I wanted to say. And on the matter of insurgency, that the government has to deal with that. I don't want to comment on the presidency because that's not my forte. But on the Senate, they need to be scrapped. All of them need to be scrapped. I'm sorry. That's what I feel.
Thank you very much for your comment. We've got one final minute, 30 seconds. Who's the lucky caller going to be? Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
My name is Hadiza.
Welcome, Hadiza.
Like, really, I do not know what some Nigerians want. Mr. President has not spoken to us. He has not addressed the nation. He has finally done that, and we are all wailing. Like, it's only when you're guilty, that is when you should be shouting that Mr. President has called for war against these people trying to destroy the nation. For goodness sake, if you have nothing, if your hands are clean, and you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't be worried. They will not come after innocent people. They're only coming after these people who are killing broad daylight, kidnappers and bandits.
Right.
I don't know why people are wailing. He has not declared war in any part of the country. He has only declared war on the people who are committing crimes in Nigeria. That's just what I want to say. Thank you.
Hadiza, thank you very much for calling. And that's all the time we have. Actually, we have time for a final comment from Lemjul Julius, who says, it beats my imagination when people use South Sudan as an example of seceded nations that are not doing well. What of former USSR? Are they not fine countries today? Sandra, the truth remains that we are not one. And that's that about that. Thank you very much. Lemjul Julius, Hadiza Chugodi, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Michael, Kevin, everybody who called into the show today, thank you very much. Call again, because we're about to switch gears and we're about to talk about parenting and the role it plays in increasing or reducing gender inequality. I am Sandra Ezekwesili. Don't go away.
Information at its peak. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm listening.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info.